Good morning, friends. It's good to be here for another Thursday coffee chat with Pam. Today is January the 8th. I've been getting confused about the days. I don't know about you, but I find, how you typically lose what day it is during the season, and then you have to kind of reevaluate. But it really matters to me because I'm writing the date on my students' little notebooks that they bring for me, to write their kind of little lesson plans in. And I keep having to ask, what's the date today? And I should know it. But anyway, good morning. It's not really morning anymore. It's late morning because I slept in today. And we're going to get into that a little bit because I wanted to talk about Cynthia's Senior Insights. Her channel is called Senior Insights, and I like to listen to Cynthia, and she was talking about guilt. And so I thought, yeah, I have a couple thoughts on that too, and I'm sure you've experienced it. But let me just pause with my old mug. We're back to reality. We're back to, the regular mug that comes out every single day. And I saved a little coffee for now and heated it up so it could truly be a coffee chat. But this is the second one this week because Tuesday I really felt like I wanted to make a video, but things had just been so compressed, and my daughter had just left. I kind of had to brace myself for teaching students and getting rid of the tree and trying to quickly get life, back to normal. And I was just feeling kind of lonely and sad. And anyway, so it was very therapeutic and I really enjoyed doing the video, which brings me to the first thing I wanted to talk about. And that is, I've been thinking about what a privilege it is to be able to do YouTube. I mean, people find time all over the place, people who have full-time jobs. But, I was thinking about how I do have more margin in my life. I have a phone. I have a computer. I don't really use it for this, not much, but I have the most, precious resource is time. And I don't even really have that, which is why you don't see a lot of editing, or any editing at all. But I do have a job. I create courses for high school students, and right now I am just trying to finish up a journalism course and just totally creating it from scratch. So it's been a lot of work and I'm feeling kind of behind. And so I'm doing this, but I really should be working on that. And I've added a few more piano students, kind of despite my better judgment. But the thing with piano and voice is people often get really excited about it and they want to do it. It's kind of like getting a new puppy. You get really excited about it at first. And so, I'll get parents calling me and they'll be like, yeah, I got to put my 3 kids in and I'm so happy. And can you do it this day? So I wasn't teaching Mondays because I really wanted to save that for travel, for, other creative projects, just errands, groceries. And it's hard to do lessons on Mondays and Fridays because they often, holiday weekends and things. And then people want you to make up lessons. So I just said straight off the bat, I'm not making up any lessons. Anyway, so I had 3 different people interested in Monday, and there's going to be a total of 5 more students. Well, first of all, the one lady said, well, I'm going to send two of my kids. I said, okay, well, that's fine. And then I couldn't get a hold of her. So I finally just phoned her and said, look, I'm trying to set up these times. I have other people interested in figuring out their time. What's your plan, right? And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. We decided to just send the one child. So, and then I had another mom who had been so excited about her teenage daughter taking voice lessons. And what happened with that was she hadn't really talked to the teenage daughter about it yet, or at least hadn't talked to her about, kind of some stipulations around it. And anyway, they pulled out of it doing it too. So that's okay. But my point is, I don't like to say no to people wanting to come on, because what happens a lot is sometimes people drop off, right? And then you can kind of keep rearranging the schedule, but keep around the same number of students. So that's really boring. And I bet I've lost all of you now. 5 minutes in, I'll look at my stats and it'll be like, yeah, the duration of people watching this video went to about 3 or 4 minutes, and then it was over. So that's okay. That's okay. I'm not here to be famous. So the privilege of being able to do YouTube. And, I think of my husband. He's working all the hours God sends. And, myself before, when I was leaving the house early to go to school and work all day, come home, I wouldn't have had really any time margin to kind of get myself in front of the camera and write a few notes. And so I just wanted us to think about that it's a privilege to be able to do this. And also, it keeps me sane. I've realized that I look forward to making a video, and it kind of helps take the edge off of other things that I am not looking forward to. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm not necessarily looking forward to what else I have going on later today, but I could look forward to this. And so it's kind of motivating, right? It helps you get inspired. It also helps me think through things that I need to think through, because I want to talk about it. So I have to kind of think through it. What do I really want to say, or what's bothering me about this situation? And so it's kind of keeping me sane. Hooray for YouTube keeping us all sane. Or closer to it. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was, got my little Bible here. Well, it's actually my husband's Bible. I bought it for him December 2, 2006. But I've kind of taken it over. Anyway, in church on Sunday, the pastor was talking about spiritual disciplines, and I was kind of interested in what he had to say. And I thought, yeah, I've improved in that area, but one of the things that I want to do more is pray. I find that my prayers are just like these wild cries out to God, please help with this or that. And I want them to be more thoughtful, more reflective of give and take, listening, of a relationship. And so I was inspired this year to start praying through the Psalms, or praying the Psalms. And so I've gone through Psalm 1, 2, and 3, and some of the lines in there just really impacted me. Like, blessed are all who take refuge in him. And today in Psalm 3, it said, from the Lord comes deliverance. May your blessing be on your people. I will lie down and sleep. I wake again because the Lord sustains me. I will not fear the tens of thousands drawn up against me on every side. And so I kind of have been reading through, and then I pause. And the idea is to pause and then think of what that line inspires you to pray, either for yourself or for a loved one. And so, my son, as some of you know, has been on my mind a lot. He's back far away, kind of having to do a life really on his own in a new city, a new situation. Anyway, and so I can pray for him, right? That the Lord will deliver him, that he will be blessed, that he will be able to sleep, right? Some of us struggle with sleep. some of us. And just how God even cares about the quality of our sleep. And so I thought that was just a cool thing, and that's what I'm doing in the new year. I'm going to try and add that to what I'm already doing. And yeah, that's cool. So hopefully that maybe inspires you to do something. I also study for the Bible study, which hasn't started up yet, but that takes a lot of effort and time, like a couple of hours at least, studying through. We're doing the book of Luke, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I just don't have time for this, right? Like, this is taking way too long. And then you go to the study, and the study is 2.5 hours, and I'm like, I got things to do. But I've realized how much strength and wisdom I have gained from really getting into God's word and studying it, because there's a lot of ideas out there, but when you compare them, when you read and study the word of God, you see them for what they are. And I'm so thankful for that. So it's another one of the things I want to do this year, is keep studying, no matter how hard it is to find the time, or I think it's hard to find the time, because I'd probably rather be watching YouTube videos, right? I mean, there's so many other things. Anyway, I also wanted to talk about that video that Cynthia did. And anyway, she was talking about guilt and how we often feel guilt for resting. She was particularly talking about retired people, and I'm not retired yet, right? Like, I'm not at that age. And I do think that older people deserve to sleep as long as they want, and do what they want, right? To a point. But it made me think about how I really struggle with that. I really struggle with, if I get up a little bit later, I feel just waves of guilt. Or if I didn't get that much done in a day, or if someone comes to the door, and they catch me kind of not working, or, things a mess, I really struggle with that. I know that it's the voice from my childhood and also just my internal monologue. And so yeah, what do you think about that? What do you, are you okay with resting? That's something my husband has taught me. He's much better at resting, but I've noticed that he's rubbed off on me and made me, take more permission to, like, lay on the couch, sit on the couch on the Saturday morning, slowly sipping a cup of coffee and not feeling, incredible guilt over it. But I've also noticed that I've rubbed off on him, and not in such a positive way. I've rubbed off on him in that I've noticed that when I come home, and I'm out and he's trying to relax, that he'll immediately jump up and start doing something. And I realized I'm putting that pressure on him. Somehow he's feeling it from me. So I've had to kind of back up and think and watch and say, honey, just chill. You can relax. You don't need to jump up and start cleaning the kitchen just because I walked in the door, right? I don't want anyone to feel that way. So, yeah. Already 14 minutes in. I wanted to rant about my Fridays. And I might run out of room and not be able to do this because I'm having issues with storage. I need to upgrade and get rid of some things and maybe use my computer more. I don't know. But my Fridays are my special days, my creative Fridays. And it doesn't always happen, and Fridays are sometimes a mess. This Friday, I really have a lot of catch-up work to do. But the principle is that, I'm really busy, and then I can look forward to Friday. I can get up, and I know that I don't have anyone coming for lessons, and and I have some time to do something creative, to write in my blog, or or just have less pressure. And unfortunately, I've talked about this. I have talked about it on my blog. I've written about it. I have talked about it just out and about. And so some people know that I'm not busy on Fridays. And so what do I get this morning? I get a text. Can you watch my kids for 4 hours on Friday? And I haven't even answered the text yet, because I love this person. I want to help this person. I want to be there for them. I really don't want to babysit. I really don't want to use my precious Friday, and this Friday especially, because I am so far behind on this course that I really need to work on. But because I'm not working, I'm not going to work, I'm at home, it just seems like, oh, she's got time, and I know she's not doing anything Friday. So I will schedule things on Friday so that I can ask her to babysit. And I know I sound like a selfish brat right now, but I'm so frustrated about this, because I know that the right thing to do is to say sure. If I don't, I know that my poor mother will probably be asked, and she's already babysat a lot this week, and she's exhausted. So it's just kind of like that rock in a hard place, right? Where you really don't want to say yes, but you really can't say no. And so I'm just wrestling with it, and I'm being a little bit defiant by not replying to the text. So, oh dear, I don't know. This has gone on for a long time, so hopefully I might have to, I don't know if I could post this, it's too long. Okay. I guess that's all I really wanted to say. I just wanted to rant a little bit about the frustration of having my precious Fridays infringed upon. Talk about the guilt sometimes we have with resting, especially as women. I mean, maybe some guys are like this too, you let me know. But most of the women I know are like that. You worked like a dog all your life, up early, to bed late, cleaning up the kitchen till 11 o'clock, getting up early, making breakfast, going to work, dealing with the kids, taking them to appointments, birthday party. It's endless. Sometimes I see women coming in and out of the grocery store, and just the look on their faces of just almost defeat, right? Like they're on this treadmill and they're on this hamster wheel and they're running and they're going and they don't have a choice. They have to just keep going. But where's the life? Where's the joy? And sometimes in the parents that come to drop off their kids, a lot of times if they have a couple minutes to talk to me, it's always about, oh my goodness, we're so busy, we did this and we did that, and we have to go here, and I have to rush here, and I'm like, wow, what kind of life are we living? Well, thanks for coming to my little chat. Thanks for being here, and I appreciate you. Don't feel like you have to watch these videos though. But I always appreciate every like and comment. It's really validating. And I hope you have an awesome day. Have some coffee, have some tea, whatever you like. And I'll see you again really soon. Bye.